The one thing I couldn't compress was the cost to launch, because there were only a few options, and the US options were way too expensive.
As Jonah was alluding to, there are a lot of negative things in the world. There's a lot of terrible things that are happening all over the world, all the time. There are lots of problems that need to get solved. There's lots of things that are miserable and kind of get you down. But life cannot just be about solving one miserable problem after another. That can't be the only thing. There need to be things that inspire you, that make you glad to wake up in the morning and be part of humanity. That's why we did this. This guy called Tsiolkovsky, one of the early Russian rocket scientists, the great saying, "Earth is the cradle of humanity, but you cannot stay in the cradle forever." It is time to go forth, become a star-faring civilization, be out there among the stars, expand the scope and scale of human consciousness. I find that incredibly exciting. That makes me glad to be alive. I hope you feel the same way.
Success is a challenging event. It's going to take years and it's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of time, but you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. There's going to be days where you wake up and just don't feel motivated at all. There's going to be days where you wake up and feel like giving up, but you need to know that that is not worth it. Giving up is never an option. Failure is all right, and you can fail and fail and fail and still become successful, but once you give up, that success train is out the window. There's zero chance that you become successful when you give up. Some of the most famous people that are successful in today's world have claimed the only reason why they are successful is because of the amount of times they've failed, and how much they failed, and all the valuable information they gained when they failed made sure that they became successful. Because it's been said that you should fail frequently and fail boldly. Because if you do those things, that means you are trying your best to achieve your dreams and achieve the success that you want. Nobody is ever going to remember the amount of times you failed or how you failed or whatever the case may be, but they will remember when you became successful and how successful you were, but nobody's going to understand how long it took and that road that it took but you. And so you'll be able to look back and realize how thankful for all those moments that seemed to be really hard and challenging, but they helped you grow to the person that you are today.
I look at the future from a standpoint of the probabilities. It's like a branching stream of probabilities, and there are actions that we can take that affect those probabilities, or that accelerate one thing or slow down another thing, introduce something new to the probability stream. Sustainable energy will happen no matter what. If there was no Tesla never existed, it would have to happen out of necessity. It's tautological. If you don't have sustainable energy, it means you have unsustainable energy. Eventually you'll run out, and the laws of economics will drive civilization towards sustainable energy, inevitably. The fundamental value of a company like Tesla is the degree to which it accelerates the advent of sustainable energy faster than it would otherwise occur. So when I think what is the fundamental good of a company like Tesla, I would say hopefully it does. If it accelerated that by a decade, potentially more than a decade, that would be quite a good thing to occur. We've got to try to create an electric car company. But it wasn't as though in creating these companies that we thought that we would be successful. I thought that the most likely outcome was failure. But it was still worth doing, even though the odds of success were low. In fact, even for SpaceX, originally what I started doing was not creating a rocket company, but actually was going to do a small mission to Mars, which was just a philanthropic mission where you would send a small greenhouse with seeds and dehydrated gel, and it would, upon landing, hydrate the gel, and you'd have this cool picture of green plants on a red background. And the public tends to respond to precedents and superlatives. So this would be the first life on Mars, furthest that life's ever traveled, and you'd have this great money shot of green plants on a red background. So yeah, I thought that would get people's attention. So, but the expectation for that was no return. So I thought we wouldn't get any, we'd just spend the money on that and it wouldn't happen. I don't really compare myself to anyone. It's not. There's certain people that I admire from history that I think are great. Certainly many of the scientists and engineers and literary figures and so forth. I'm a big fan of Ben Franklin.
I think some people do.
Yeah.
But no, I think it is definitely true that, maybe there are occasionally companies that get created where there's not an extended period of extreme pain, but I'm not aware of very many of such instances, and but I do think that new great entrepreneurs are born every day, and we'll continue to see amazing companies get built. So Yeah, but I would definitely advise people who are starting a company to expect a long period of quite high difficulty. But I mean, as long as people stay super focused on creating the absolute best product or service that really delights their end customer, if they stay focused on that, then if you get it such that your customers want you to succeed, well, I think there's a lot of opportunity in general in electrification of transport. So electric aircraft, I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section down below.